Welcome to Gurukul's CAT 100 series, a series that's designed specifically to take you from your study room to the corporate boardroom. I am Prady Sharma, and this is Verbal Mastery with Prady.
Welcome back to another video. Now this is our passage for today. In case you want to take this passage as a test, then just log on to www.thegurukul.org.in and sign up for the 100 days to CAT test series. Now this is a free series where we'll be giving you 100 tests of quant, verbal ability and LRDI, one test every single day till your CAT exam, just so that you can stay consistent with your CAT 2025 prep and crack CAT 2025. Now let's get into the video. So this is your first paragraph. Please pause the video here, read the paragraph, and then we'll go into the second paragraph. This is your second paragraph. Pause the video here, read it, and then we'll go into the third paragraph. This is your last paragraph. Pause the video here, read it, and then we'll go into the next part of the questions. This is your question number 1. Please pause the video here, answer this question, and then we'll go into the next question. This is your question number 2. Pause the video here, answer this question, and then we'll go into the third question. This is your question number 3. Pause the video here, answer this question, and then we'll go into the last question of this passage. This is the last question of this passage. Pause the video here, answer this question, and then we'll get into the passage explanations and the question explanations. Okay, now that you've finished answering all the questions, put down all your answers in the comment box below and we'll see how many you've gotten correct. Let's get into the passage and question explanations. The first paragraph says, for centuries, anthropologists have cited dream interpretation that has roots in ancient wisdom and religious myth-making. However, its enduring popularity in the modern age can largely be credited to Freud and the advent of psychoanalysis. So what idea do I get from here till here? I understand that, yes, anthropologists say that dream analysis or dream interpretation, for this passage I'll call it DI, has its roots. So I can say the origin is in myths, or religion. But modern psychologists or modern age, whatever popularity dream analysis is getting in the modern age, it can be credited to Freud, and his dream analysis or his psychoanalysis as it's mentioned over here. Now Freud's iconoclastic theories. Now what is this iconoclastic? Iconoclast is nothing but challenging or disrupting traditional institutions. So any beliefs that already exist, if you're challenging them, if you're disrupting them, then we call that as iconoclast. So Freud's iconoclast theories, particularly his work, the dream interpretation, or the interpretation of dream, made a bold assertion. Dreams are neither universal nor divine messages, but rather complicated manifestation of our psychological state. So what did Freud say? Freud said that these dreams and all are not about something divine. They're actually a psychological state being manifested. So it's like a subconscious memory, right? His theory of the dynamic unconscious suggested that dreams, Freudian slips, and even personality disorders stem from a sophisticated psychological mechanism where repressed desires, may unexpectedly surface, often in undesirable ways, such as nightmare. What is he talking about over here? He's saying that dreams, Freudian slips are slips in the tongue, and even personality disorders. All these come from repressed desires, desires which could not be fulfilled, When they unexpectedly come out, then those are caused as nightmares. His timely examination of the nightmares experienced by World War I veterans, World War I veterans are people who fought in the World War I, propelled his work into the spotlight. That means it pushed. So here propelled, is gave the right push. So this pushed his work into the spotlight, particularly in 1900s European society, which was grappling. Grappling over here is nothing but struggling. Right, so the European society is struggling with the aftermath of war-related trauma. So a lot of people who fought in the World War I, they were very traumatized, and because they were traumatized, when this person brought in his, interpretation of the dream and he studied the dreams of the veterans, they actually took it very well and they pushed it into the spotlight. So these people war-related traumas, and despite relying heavily on anecdotal evidence, Freud's theories gained mainstream attention, lending urgency and scientific credibility to dream analysis, thrusting it into the discipline of psychology. So what does this mean? There was no scientific basis, there was no conformity, okay? No one could confirm if this was actually happening because of the dream analysis. Whatever he said, is that actually working out or not? But because of the urgency that was there, this dream analysis was pushed into the psychology as a domain, okay? Now, while admittedly popular among numerous practitioners and clients even today, the field is not without its own pitfall. That means what? Even till today, it's very popular, but it has its own disadvantages. However, various studies on dream analysis, particularly in the context of treating post-traumatic stress disorder, as PTSD, have shown negative outcomes. That means what? A lot of studies have been done, and these studies have seen how dream analysis even effective for PTSD, and there have been negative outcomes only. Okay, so one study revealed that analyzing dreams of veterans with PTSD led to adverse treatment results. So there was very bad, there was reverse, some kind of a extremely damaging treatment results that were there. As discussing nightmares triggered heightened responses and increased nightmare frequency. So when these people used to come in, they used to discuss their nightmares in the dream analysis sessions. That made them have more of the nightmares, not less. Okay. Additionally, interpreting nightmares made the nightmares even more vivid. Okay, vivid means detailed. In this context, vivid is going to be taken as detailed, okay, and cohesive when experienced again. So the next time they had the same nightmare, it became more clear to them. Okay, another study found that dream analysis could create false beliefs about past traumas, as analysts often exert significant influence over their patients, and many concoct. Here, the meaning of the word concoct is make. Okay, or get into their mind. Okay, usually concoct is nothing but bringing something together into making, bringing something together into reality. All right, so the concoct false meanings for their dreams. So what is he saying? He said that another study that actually found that all these dreams and the dream analysis, okay, whatever the psychologist has done, the therapist has done, the therapist had a very significant influence on the patient. So the therapist, whatever he told about that dream, that would become a reality to the patient. Okay, they would make that a reality themselves. They would concoct it in the false meanings for their dreams. They would make these false meanings a reality for themselves. Okay, the participants in the study saw clinicians who interpreted their recent dreams as signs of past mildly traumatic experience, such as feeling lost or abandoned before the age 3. Okay, so the participants in that study who saw clinicians, the clinicians who interpreted their dreams, okay, so the clinicians interpreted their dreams of past mildly traumatic experience, so small traumatic experiences, as something that was to do with very young age, okay, when they were probably less than 3 years old. The intervention caused many participants to become more confident in these experiences, even if they had previously denied them. That means what? Before they thought that, okay, that is nothing, me being abandoned at the, in the age of less than 3 is nothing. But now what happened when this therapist told them that? They started believing it as true, and they started becoming more confident about that. In particular, the finding points to the possibility that dream interpretation may have unexpected side effects if it leads to beliefs about the past that may in fact be false. So what's he telling? He's saying that dream analysis will have some kind of side effects also if those dream analysis are pointing to beliefs which are not true about the past. Okay. When people think that they have had personal experiences with magical phenomena or hear stories about these phenomena from others, they might view these experiences as accurate representations of reality rather than question the veracity of the assumption. Now here, the meaning of the word veracity, guys, is nothing but the truth. Okay, so when you hear something from others, okay, you tend to confirm it for yourself. When you are having a fear already and when you are hearing it from someone who you think is credible, you tend to confirm that fear yourself, okay, instead of questioning whether that assumption is even correct or not. So what do we understand in this passage as a whole? First thing, that dream analysis came into spotlight with Freud, okay, it's not something about the myth and religious thing at all. Second thing, dream analysis with war veterans and all is very, very aversive because a lot of adverse reactions could come in, and when patients are exposed to the false beliefs that the clinicians have told them, they might start actually believing in those kind of beliefs. So dream analysis, although it's very popular, has a lot of side effects and it is kind of aversive to people. Now that we're done with the passage, let's get into the question explanations. The primary purpose of the author in this passage is to, so what is the author really trying to do in this passage? Argue that Sigmund Freud's theories on dream interpretation were fundamentally flawed due to the reliance on anecdotal evidence. See, he's nowhere told that they were completely false. Okay, so I can take this off. demonstrate how dream analysis, despite its historical popularity, presents significant risks, particularly in the context of treating trauma. Yes. So he's only telling us that in treating trauma, these have big risks. Okay. So this could be the answer. Trace the evolution of the dream interpretation from ancient practices to its modern psychological application through psychoanalysis. Now see, he's not really tracing what used to happen in the ancient times. He's only given us one example of the starting, right? So I can take this off. Advocate for the immediate cessation of dream interpretation. Guys, now this word cessation means stopping. Okay, see, he's only told us what about the risks. He's never told us to stop anything. So I'm going to take this off. The best possible answer now becomes B. It can be inferred from the passage that a key challenge for Freud's initial assertions regarding dream interpretation was. So what was the first challenge that Freud had, okay, when he brought this dream interpretation into reality? The widespread belief in dreams as divine or universal messages amongst his contemporaries. See again, nowhere was he told that he faced pushback because of dreams being treated as divine, right? When he said that dreams are not divine, people accepted it, right? So this is not going to be the answer. The lack of standardized methodologies for analyzing subconscious manifestations. Now see, although there was not enough methodologies, I agree that this was not, there was no methodologies, but then again, in the passage, he's not told me about what methodologies we have used and all. He's just told me that anecdotal evidence was taken. So anecdotal evidence was accepted, right? But now how clear is those anecdotal evidences? Can we verify those claims or not? Is not told to us. So B cannot be the answer. The difficulty in objectively verifying his claims about repressed desires and the unconscious mind. Now see, all of this was just based on anecdote. That means his personal experiences or short stories that he's heard from his patients. So there was no claim that could be actually verified about all of this. So this could be a possible answer for me. The prevalence of war-related trauma which complicated the interpretation of nightmares. Now see, this did not complicate the interpretation of nightmare. Clinicians still could actually interpret the nightmares. The only problem was that you could not tell if that was actually because of what the clinician said it is because of or not, right? So I can take D off. The best possible answer now becomes C. Which of the following best describes the author's attitude towards the contemporary practice of dream analysis in psychology? Now, what is the author's attitude towards dream analysis? Is the author enthusiastically supportive? No. Obviously, the author is not very supportive. He's talked about it in kind of a negative tone only. Yes. Neutral and objective? No. He's not objective, he's not neutral. Yes, he's presented facts, but he showed us his opinions as well. So, I can remove B also. Cautiously critical? Yes, this is a negative tone. Yes, he is finding out flaws, acknowledging its popularity, but emphasizing significant potential harms. So this could be a valid answer for me. Dismissive, considering it as antiquated practice with no place in modern therapy. No. See, he's clearly told that this was in modern therapy only, right? So I can remove D. The best possible answer now becomes C. Now for the last question, if the findings of the second study mentioned in the passage, what was the second study? It was regarding the false beliefs and past trauma are accurate. Which of the following is most strongly implied about the therapeutic interventions involving memory retrieval? That means getting back those memories. So therapists should generally avoid discussing past traumas with patients to prevent distress. See, although this is correct, but this has not been told to us in the passage. So I cannot take this to be true. Patients are highly susceptible to suggestion, particularly when dealing with recollections about early life. This has been told to us in the passage in the sense that he's told us when we are talking about the past traumas, the nightmares become more vivid. Correct. So this is a possible answer for me. Anecdotal evidence as used by Freud is inherently more reliable than structured clinical interventions. Now see, in the passage he's told us clearly the opposite of this, that it is not more reliable. Okay. In fact, he said that we cannot verify its reliability. So I can just remove this. The therapist must be rigorously trained to ensure that interpretations are actually always factually correct. Now the problem with dream interpretation is that you never know if it could be factually correct or not. There's no verifiability to it. So this also can be taken off. The best possible answer for us in this part is B. Now that we've finished all the question explanations, please tell us in the comments how many questions you've gotten correct. If you've stayed till here, please drop a like. It motivates us a lot to bring these videos to you every single day. And share this video with a friend who's also preparing for CAT 2025. I'll see you.
Hope you enjoyed learning from today's session.
This series is designed to help you with your CAT preparation and practice daily. We are with you in this journey.
To watch the next video, click here. And to watch Gurukul's CAT 100 series, study room to boardroom, the entire playlist, click here.
If you learned from today's session, like, share, and subscribe.